We are going to compare the horizontal conjugate gaze and the vestibuloocular reflex. So in order to see why both are involved in why the medial longitudinal fascicle is involved in both, and because this is sometimes talking just about one pathway and the other without having done the comparison sometimes could be a little bit confusing. So let's begin with just the horizontal conjugate gaze. This is when we want to look to the right, why both eyes look to the right. So conjugate horizontal conjugate gaze. When we said that we want to look to the right, there is information on the left frontal eye field. Left frontal eye field. Here the neurons project to the paramedian reticular formation of the pons. Here very near is the abducent nucleus. Here would be the other abducent nucleus. The abducent nucleus has two fibers, the motor fibers and the internuclear fibers. The motor fibers will go to the lateral rectus of the eye and will do that this eye look to the right. The internuclear neurons produce the medial longitudinal fascicle that goes to the oculomotor nerve and produces that to the contralateral oculomotor nerve and produces that the left eye looks to the right because it's stimulating the medial rectus. Now, when we have the vestibular reflex, we have involving only this part, just this part, because it is not that we said, I want to look to the right. No, we are rotating the head to one side, and so both eyes are doing a conjugate gaze in which both eyes are looking contralateral to the side at which the head rotated, but both eyes are looking either to the left or to the right. And in order to do this conjugate gaze that both eyes look to the same side, both eyes to the left or both eyes to the right, then we need this part. So now let me put the vestibular ocular reflex. We have the saccule, utricle, and semicircular canals. Then the vestibular ganglion. From vestibular ganglion, the vestibular branch of the vestibulocochlear nerve goes to the pontomedullary junction and can go to the cerebellar cortex or to the vestibular nuclei, the medial, inferior, and lateral. And from the medial and inferior vestibular nuclei, the axons can go to the cortex of the cerebellum through mossy fibers stimulating granular cells. Granular cells release glutamate to Purkinje cells release GABA to the fastidial nucleus, and also projects again to all the vestibular nuclei, lateral, medial, inferior, superior. And now these fibers will go to the contralateral abducent nucleus, so here. Here this abducent nucleus produces that this eye looks to the left, so this is the lateral rectus, and this is the medial longitudinal fascicle that produces that this eye look to the left, medial rectus. So stimulating the right vestibular nucleus, eyes look to the left. Or the other way would be if we stimulate the left system, vestibular system, then these axons of the vestibular nuclei will go to this abducent nucleus, to this lateral rectus, and to this oculomotor, and then to the medial rectus, and so stimulating the left vestibular system produces that the eyes look to the right, because we rotate the head to the left, so stimulating left vestibular system, eyes look to the right. We want to look to the right. Looking to the right, it is on the left frontal eye field, paramedian pontine formation, and then the conjugate gaze that the eyes look to the right. So this is the comparison. I think that the difficult part is that students maybe first are taught about one pathway or the other, the vestibular or the saccadic conjugate gaze, that is this pathway, and if they I think that normally they are taught this pathway first, and then they see this pathway, and they see this part of the abductor nucleus, oculomotor nucleus, medial longitudinal fascicle, but they think that is somewhat like this pathway and next this pathway, and no, this part is not involved on the vestibuloocular reflex. The only part that is involved is this part, and the goal of this video was to see the difference or comparison between these two pathways and see that this vestibular part is only connected to this part of the conjugate saccadic gaze.